Hello everyone, this is Pastor Philip Johnson. I'm a patient coordinator here at Sponaugle Wellness in Palm Harbor, Florida, where Dr. Sponaugle treats individuals for Lyme disease and co-infections, mold toxicity, a host of these ailments. Today we have a special guest with us. We'd like to introduce her to you right now. Tell us your first name.
I'm Katelyn. I'm from Montana.
Montana. And beautiful place.
Yes.
Montana.
Yes, it is. I'm excited to go home.
I imagine, especially we're in December of 2013 and it's nearly Christmas time.
Yep.
So going home's always a thrill.
Good Christmas present to go home.
All right. Mom and Dad will be waiting on you.
Yep.
All right. We want to tell your story here and let people know what you've experienced, what you've come through, and what it's been like coming to Sponaugle Wellness and being so far from Montana. And I don't suppose there was treatment available in Montana.
Not this kind of treatment. This treatment isn't available anywhere. But I had a doctor that was actually very good. She's the one that sent me down here.
Okay.
For a doctor to look at you and say, I don't have the tools to fix you, you need to come here, was pretty big. So I'm very thankful that she sent me down here.
All right. So tell us when this all started. When did the sickness begin? What happened?
I was about 14
Okay.
when I started to get very noticeable symptoms. It started with I was playing volleyball and my knees would get really swollen
Okay.
and hurt, and I just couldn't keep up with the team. And they said, "Oh, well, you have tendinitis. Go to a physical therapist." So I started that. A couple weeks in, they said, "There's something wrong. You're getting worse."
Okay.
Progressed to the point where I couldn't play volleyball. In 2 months, I was done. I couldn't do anything. Went to Mayo Clinic, Seattle Children's Hospital, infectious disease doctors, everyone. They diagnosed me about 7 or 8 years ago with ankylosing spondylitis, which is degenerative arthritis of your spine,
Okay.
in the juvenile form. So I was on all of those medications to suppress your immune system, which really did a lot of damage in hindsight.
All of those suppressants, antibiotics, different things that we can get on to try to treat symptoms seem like they can create their own problems along the way.
Right.
Often when a patient comes to us, we have to spend some time cleaning them up a little bit before we can move forward with a really effective treatment.
Yeah. That was one of my biggest things that I would tell people, because they would say, "Well, when are you starting to get better?" And I had so much damage from all of the years of being on all of those immunosuppressants and all of that stuff that it just took a long time.
I want to make this point because this started when you were 14 years old. So
For about
Lyme
10 years.
disease, mold toxicity just does not have a conscience. So it doesn't care whether it affects the young,
Yeah, no.
the middle-aged, or the old. So how old are you now?
23.
23.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been here treating for several months,
Yeah, almost 9.
9 months.
Mm-hmm.
So you had a doctor in Montana that helped you detect, what did she discover for
Lyme.
you?
She's
Lyme.
the one that told me I had Lyme about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And then we started with the antibiotics, and every time we would try and do anything, I would get so sick. Well, I had all the other stuff too. So she did a big panel last December, actually, when I got really, really sick, and she found mold, and that's what she sent me here.
So from the time you were 14, you talked about it affected volleyball, but at 14 you got a lot of things on your mind, and you got school to finish, probably thinking about college. How did this all affect that? Were you able to acquire your dreams and continue moving forward?
Yeah. I'm a little bit of an overachiever, I would
Okay.
say. So I had to do a lot of things differently, though.
Okay.
I pretty much homeschooled myself through high school to finish, but I did graduate with honors. So that's,
I love homeschoolers, by the way.
Yep.
Great people.
They let me do most of my work from home, and
Yeah.
I wasn't able to go to school, so wasn't able to play sports. Definitely affected a social life of a high schooler, to not ever leave your bed.
So let's talk about that for just a minute. I wouldn't want to use the word bedridden. Did you use that? You
I
were
was.
bedridden. Just
for
too
periods
painful,
of time.
too painful to get up? I mean, what?
Yeah, there was a lot of like ups and downs over the years, but there were, 6 months, 8 months at a time where I was completely bedridden. My pain was excruciating. I was in 10 out of 10 excruciating pain from the time I woke up until the time I went to bed. I would even wake up with fingernail marks in my hands because I
Clenching your hands
because I was in so much pain even when I was sleeping.
A little bit of weakness involved with this.
Yeah, but mostly pain.
Okay.
The most weakness that I had was right before I came here, and then during my first kill I had a lot of weakness.
Okay.
But overall, my pain is the reason that I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't walk down the stairs. I couldn't.
Were you ever using a cane, a walker, a wheelchair?
No.
Okay.
I would use a wheelchair. I did a few times here when we would go do things just because I couldn't stand for very long. But I've been able to walk. It's just very painful. It was
Painful. And how about what we would call, Lyme and mold, these co-infections, they always become a brain issue. They cause a host of problems. Can you describe anything that you might have gone through?
I struggled in school for the first time this last year.
Okay.
School has always been very easy for me. I've been the one that sits in the back of the class and ruins the curve for everybody and doesn't have to study. And having brain fog and the word searching and losing parts of myself was the hardest thing to go through, I think.
Yeah.
I went through the pain and that kind of thing, but when I started having seizures and I was really shaky, I would lose my legs sometimes, and then I just couldn't think. That was the scariest part of this whole thing for me.
Not being able to think or capture those words. We were talking before, I have a list here of some things that, it's a biotoxin mold checklist of some of the effects or symptoms of being exposed to mold. Because we want to talk about mold for just a little bit, because you didn't know that was an issue, right?
No.
Before you came here,
Right.
that mold. And a lot of people
I didn't
don't.
understand it, yeah.
Okay. So you went through here, I asked you to check some things off, and there's a large list, but you marked a lot of things here. Anxiety, fatigue, weakness, aches, headaches, light sensitivity. This is talking about what it affects your eyes. Blurred vision, shortness of breath, abdominal pain, joint pain, morning stiffness, numbness, vertigo, balance, memory issues, poor focus, concentration. There's just a list of things here. You already mentioned word searching and sensitivity to your skin, mood swings, temperature regulation issues. So there's a lot of things that become symptoms. Now, when you first came in, we did a test to check to see if you had, I'll use the phrase free-floating mold, and you said you came back showing nothing.
Right. It was negative.
It was negative.
Yes.
So then we began to treat, and as people that go to our website, and if you go to our website, you'll find a lot of information about this. You'll be able to read about biofilm. Lyme creates or spins this biofilm, and when it does, it kind of weaves this around itself, and it pulls in a lot of other toxins with it. Industrial toxins, mold toxicity, the other co-infections, Bartonella, and so on and so forth. So someone like you can come in and initially test negative for mold. But when we had your first bust, or when we broke through the biofilm for the first time, then there was evidence of something else.
Yes.
So the mold started showing up then.
Yeah, and it's been showing up ever since.
So it was trapped or wrapped up in that biofilm. And while we're talking about this, and I hope maybe you can see this on the screen, we want to talk about biofilm, and that is created from the Lyme. And you can see those colors in there, the blue and so on. But this is a picture of your biofilm, and all those beautiful little blue things in there are parasites that you come here to treat. That one looks like the Northern Star or something, the big bright star. So you had Lyme. Through this we discovered you had, this looks like the Milky Way, the way it's spiraled around there. Protozoa rheumatica. Lyme disease.
Bartonella, the bees, yeah.
You know, we have a sheet here that talks about, you know, what we discovered when you came in, and some of the things you were dealing with at that time: mold toxicity, depression, anxiety, gut issues. I would say nearly every patient that comes here is going to be going through gut issues. If not from antibiotic treatments that they've received earlier, you know, the mold toxin can also create huge gut issues and inflame that lining. You had some other toxins in here dealing with. So there's a lot here that we had a lot of opportunity
Yes.
to get you better. So you've treated quite long here. So we have patients that come. There are a few patients that can successfully treat on maybe an 8-week protocol. That would be a smaller number. And then we have a larger group of people, a majority of people that are probably here 10, 12, 14, 16 weeks to clean them up, to get rid of all of this. And then you have spent longer here.
Yeah,
You were a very sick girl.
I've been about 30 weeks of treatment. There was a 3-month break in between, so
Took some time off.
I went home and cleaned up my gut a little bit more and let myself get strong enough so that I could kill again. So yeah, I'm about 30 weeks total right now.
That's so very important. You talked about letting your gut get better, and so you come back and kill again, because a lot of people don't understand how detrimental all of these things are to the body, how they're affecting the whole body. Everything is a mechanism to something else in the body, and certainly your gut has to be healthy, your liver has to be healthy, and of course we look at all 6 regions of the brain. Brain chemistry has to be right, and you had one of them fast-running brains. You were brilliant. And then, of course, all of these bugs and mold toxicity started bringing that level down just a little bit, which you mentioned you struggled for a while there in your last year. And but now do you feel like you're back? You got that sharp brain again?
Yeah, I graduated.
All right. Yeah.
As of last week.
Yeah, that's something to celebrate. And you did that while you were sick, and that's quite incredible.
Didn't want to quit. I made it this far. So.
Yeah. You know, that's a good
But-
fighting spirit to have.
Yeah.
What do you want to say about the treatment? Was it what you expected? Were you surprised?
Not what I expected at all. I don't know if you can really expect how this treatment is.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if you could even prepare for it. It's been an absolute blessing, though. I've been extremely lucky to be here and have the opportunity to be here. What I would tell people is to be patient, because it works.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be here today if I hadn't come here. So, I mean, that's
we literally, that's important to talk about, because Dr. Sponaugle Wellness, the staff here, they have literally saved some people's lives.
and I'm one of them. Yeah.
People don't understand just how bad. In fact, many of you that are watching this, you've been misunderstood. People around you look at you and don't understand why you're sick, why you're complaining. You look okay.
Yeah.
They don't understand how sick you are and the complications you're going through, or just the fact that this can literally be a deadly disease. And we're so glad that we turned all this around.
Me too.
For you.
Very thankful. I'm excited about my life again, so I couldn't ask for anything better than that.
So on a day-to-day basis, you know, we have a lot of great staff here that's trying to take care of everybody, reaching out to you, and of course you're leaving tomorrow, and there's been a lot of tears around here today.
Yes, a lot of tears today.
As people are saying goodbye and you're preparing for that exit. But we do our best with every patient that comes in. We're just really want to reach out and show that care, you know, walking them through every aspect of the treatment.
Being here has been amazing because you can see that Dr. Sponaugle is a doctor who genuinely cares.
It does.
He wants to make people better. He wants to help you. He wants to heal you. And that is something that you don't come by very often in doctors. So that's an absolute blessing. And then the staff is the same way. The nurses, everybody here really cares. They want you to get better.
Dr. Sponaugle will stay up all night sometimes.
He has. He stayed up late with me. He'll stay until 9 o'clock at night with me sometimes. We had, going through those things.
Going through some rough times.
And it's been absolutely amazing.
So you're getting ready to go home, going back to Montana,
Yep.
and we certainly are going to miss you, but we're very excited for the opportunity that you're going to have, and what's awaiting you, and have your life ahead of you, and move forward to that. And
I'm excited too.
any closing comments we want to finish with?
I just want to say thank you to everybody here, genuinely, and just to anybody that's going through it, just be patient and be strong, because you will get through it, and this clinic really does care.
Thank you. And thank you all for watching and sharing the story here with Katelyn. And she's been very passionate about this, and so glad that you told your story to everyone.
Yeah.